When you log into TK20 to turn in your impact on student learning, click on the Field Experience tab. On this tab, you'll see something that says Impact on Student Learning. So, for example, this one's called Sample 3. Click on that. You'll see several tabs across the top of this page. These tabs correspond to the document that you've been trying to complete. So, for each of these tabs, you're going to complete an artifact that corresponds to that. In addition, there's a tab that says Assessments. These are all the assessments being conducted on you, including the assessment for this particular assignment. So to begin turning all this in, you need to go to the Artifacts tab. You need to create an artifact. We're going to begin with the first one. So we're going to begin with our artifact called Impact on Student Learning, Part 1. We're going to give it a name. Call this ISL Practice Math. Now, to get this stuff in here, as you know, you've been working on something that looks like this. So all I'm going to do is cut and paste out of this Word document into this program. Okay, once I have that section done, I'm going to go to the second section. I'm going to click the Add New button. And for that Add New button, there's going to be 3 columns. Those columns correspond to these columns in your Word document. The TEKS, this is Math, 2nd grade, 2.1a. I'm ready to add another one. Just click Add New again. This is Math, grade 2.1b. And you keep adding that for as many learning objectives as you have. And you can keep going. Now, to add the assessments, you click on the gray Add Assessment button. Copy in the name of the assessment, pre-assessment, paper, and put in the accommodations. Ready for the second assessment. Copy and paste that in. Formative assessment, observation, objectives A and B. Add that in, and you keep going. You'll see a note down here that says attach copies of any tests for rubrics. Remember, you do need to do that. To attach those documents, you go to the Documents page, click on Add New, and it's just like attaching something to an email. You browse, go look for the document that you want. For example, that. Give it a name and load it. Save that. When you save it, it assumes that you're done. You can, and that's what I created right there. Impact on student learning. You can see the date that's created. And go on to the second one. You want to create the second artifact, the instructional design. Remember, this is the lesson template. And you'll have a lesson template for each lesson that you complete. So complete the first one. I have a group activity, copy and paste a description of that in, name of the resource I'm using, what objectives that covers, my lesson activities. I have a first activity, description of that activity, the objectives it covers. I have another activity in there. It's my second activity. It covers A and B. Now, assume I'm done with this lesson. I'm going to save that. Now remember, you have several different lessons that go into this. So I need to create another instructional design template. Give it some kind of name that you can keep up with. Check off the appropriate parts. The note-taking activity. Save that. Now, let's assume for some reason that I'm done with my lessons. Wait for that to save. Once that's saved, that will show up here. So you can see I've got 2 impact on student learning lessons. Now I'm ready to create my third part. This is the analysis. Again, I'm going to just cut and paste into that. The documents. Remember, you need to turn in the spreadsheet that goes with this. Upload that. Be sure and save your work. The last thing I'm going to do is create the last part, reflection. Save that. Now, you can see the date I created all these. I've got all the parts of my artifacts that I need to turn in. I'm going to go back to the Field Experience tab, click on the part that I'm supposed to turn in, go to that tab for that section of this. You can use this first attachment point. Let's click here to attach. It's going to give you, and I've got 2 of these because I created one previously. So I'm going to click on the one that I want to turn in, and that's attached. Go to the second one. I've got several of these. Remember, you will too. So I'm going to put the first one on, hit continue. Now I'm going to drop down here and I'm going to go look just for this type of artifact. You can see the date that's created. Make sure you're getting the right one. So I've put both those in. Part 3. Just to note, if for some reason you can't find the spreadsheet, if you click on this link, it'll bring the spreadsheet template up. It's another way to get access to it. And the last one. Now, everything's been turned in. If you're not sure about what's in there, click on that. You can see what you've done to it. If you've attached documents to it, those documents would be on that tab. So for example, let's go back to this. It's not the right part. Documents, there's the document that I attached. Here's everything that I wrote about this. All the stuff about my learning objectives, balloons, accommodations, everything. Okay, when you're ready to go back and see your grade, if you'll log back into this, click on Assessment. All the assessments that are being conducted are here. This is the impact on student learning, portfolio rubric, field experience. Click on that. This is where you'll see the rubric, scores down at the bottom. Assuming everything's done the way you want it to, you hit the complete button. Ask you if you're sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Worst case scenario, let's say you forgot something. If the person who's grading has not started, you can check that box, hit the recall button, and it'll take it away from them. Then you can go back into that and make changes. So for example, let's say there's not something's not right about this particular artifact. Let's say that it's not 720 students, it's 719. You want to change that. You go back to that artifact. Make sure you find the right one. Change the artifact. Save it. Now, once you've saved that, it makes that change here also. It's done. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to reattach the artifact. You can remove the artifacts. As long as you change the artifact, it's fine. If you do that, though, once you change it, be sure to hit complete again so that it's turned in. The way you know it's turned in is that little red flag is gone. If you have any questions, you get stuck, my email address is on here, my phone number is on here. And that is it.